weekday morning for Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the Loos. Join me on the trip and unearth the stories on how we maintain a domestic supply of food and fuel for future generations of American citizens like our forefathers did.
Hello, everyone. I'm Trent Loos. Welcome to another edition of Rural Route, to the program where we gather every day at this time. Well, we do it Monday through Friday anyway, and what we do when we gather is continue to address the issues between food production and food consumption. Here we are, June nearly gone. We're within a week of coming into July and the big celebration all across this country, but July 25th, 2026 is 150 years since the Battle of Greasy Grass. I hope you caught Devin Headrest today talking about what happened to George Armstrong Custer and the 260 regiment men of the United States Army. We're not going to talk about that today on Rural Route, though. I just wanted to throw that in as a little teaser and a reminder, because we need to be better students of history. Adam Chappell and Taylor Herren are joining me today on Rural Route. They are at Cotton Plant, Arkansas. It would stand to reason that we know how this town got its name, but I know that Adam grew up there. So the first thing I'm going to ask him when we get here is, how long has the cotton plant been in Cotton Plant, Arkansas? But Taylor caught my attention. She made a post last week, and this is the good part about social media. We can find plenty of negatives about social media, but if you're paying attention, you can find people who are sharing thought-provoking, true real-world issues that need a better discussion. And that is exactly why I have invited them on today to share this discussion with you and I, so that we can all learn how to make it better for the next generation. Rural Route just ahead.
Silver's been used as an antibacterial and antifungal agent for centuries. In the history of pharmaceutical, no pharmaceutical has ever cured anything. When we invented the micronic silver, ours is the only silver that doesn't destroy the good bacteria. The difference between good bacteria and bad bacteria's waste product is medicine for us. Bad bacteria's waste product is toxic for us. And we're the only people in 100 years to create a new category of silver called micronic silver. So it is different than the colloidal, the ionic, and the nano silver. Our silver works outside the cell versus inside the cell. So ours steals the electron from the bacteria, fungus, or virus, destroying the cell wall, destroying the bacteria, fungus, or virus on contact. People use it for pretty much everything. You can go on our website, micronicsilver.com. You can read testimonies from customers. We have hundreds of testimonies from all different kinds of disease states.
Use promo code TRENT to get a 10% discount off of your order. Visit micronicsilver.com today.
Let's be frank, it's a pain to be without your vehicle after an accident. That's why you should take it to Jerome's Collision Center. Our shop is supersized, and we have the qualified staff to fill it up and work on your vehicle, step by step, piece by piece, in crazy fast time without sacrificing quality. When you need us, we'll turn your bad experience into a good one. We're Jerome's Collision Center, and we're the best at what we do.
Base Fluke Trailers of Dickinson is a family-owned dealer with expert staff that know their products front to back. We stock over 150 units of all types and can custom order a trailer with the unique features and capabilities you require for brands you can trust. Our experienced service team is the reason we're also the best place to have your trailer customized or repaired. Count on Base Fluke Trailers of Dickinson to keep you hauling.
Ashley, North Dakota is where life moves a little slower, but never gets dull. From hunting, camping, and fishing to safe streets where kids can be kids, this is the best of small town living. And Ashley offers everything you need, from healthcare to hardware to countless ways to stay active. Here, we've invested in our future with major upgrades to roads, parks, and education. Whether you're here for the day or here for life, you'll find Ashley's where you ought to be.
When I first decided to invest in gold, I was a bit nervous and unsure how to start. Luckily, I found Noble Gold Investments. From the very first call, they made investing easy. No pushy sales tactics, no gimmicks, and no confusing free silver offers with hidden fees. Just honest advice tailored to my needs, giving me confidence every step of the way. If you're new to gold investing or want a partner you can trust, visit noblegoldinvestments.com.
Welcome back. Roll Route, Trent Loos, Adam and Taylor joining us from Cotton Plant, Arkansas. Adam Chappell, Taylor Herren. Adam, what was the issue? What's your past that you had to be warned to behave here by Taylor on this broadcast? What do we need to know?
Oh, just I get a little fiery. Let some of those words Grandma doesn't like it loose every now and then, just like what we talked about.
Welcome. Thank you, Taylor, for keeping him in line. How are you?
We're good. We're really glad to be here talking to you today.
Cotton Plant, Arkansas. Is there actually a cotton plant in this town?
There he is. There's cotton all around here. Yeah, they started growing cotton here well before the Civil War, and the original name was Richmond. But they, when they were shipping cotton off on the rail, cotton sprouts started coming up at the terminal, like between the concrete blocks, and
Sure.
Everybody just started calling it cotton plant, so it stuck. They retired Richmond and called it cotton plant.
What year you reckon that was, Adam?
Oh, mid 1800s. I can't remember exactly. I obviously wasn't around, but it was a long time ago. I know at one point when it was Richmond, cotton plant was in the running to be the state capital. So we were big time here at one point. Now not so much.
So you guys obviously raise cotton. What's your farming enterprise like?
Right now, we don't have any cotton. We've raised a ton of it in the past, but right now we're primarily corn, soy, and rice. Cotton, the equipment is a one pony, one show pony, and it's so expensive. It's just not cost effective for us to grow cotton anymore. So we kind of got out of that. We had a gin here in town, and it closed in 2012, and that kind of took a lot of the cotton acres with it. So still quite a bit of cotton around, just we don't grow any of it.
Because I don't talk about cotton much, I'm intrigued. I have friends in Kansas that recently a cotton gin, I'm talking in the last 10 years, cotton gin was built. And so guys who are raising corn, soy, just like everybody else, were diversifying and adding cotton, and told me that that's really been the savior. What's the overall economics of cotton in the last 10 years, farming wise?
We've probably had a couple of good years. We had the last time we had really profitable cotton was probably 20, I'm going to say 19. We had a really good price on cotton, and since then it's been hovering around 70 cents or below. I think right now it's in the 60s, and it's just almost impossible to break even at those prices down here in the South. I've got friends in Kansas that grow cotton too, and they don't have the same insect pressure, disease pressure, the humidity and things that we fight here. And cotton's a little more viable in that drier climate. Texas and things, when they get rain or if they can irrigate, they can make a really good cotton crop. And in the South, where cotton originated, it's a little bit tougher. Hot nights, high humidity and stuff is pretty yield limiting, and we get a lot of that. So it's still a viable crop for some folks, but we can do better with other crops. So that's what we've done.
Taylor, you mentioned that you grew up in California, not far from where there's rice and a little bit of cotton grown. This is the only type of area you live where rice is grown?
So I did spend time in Chico, California, which is one of the other.
Oh, there you go.
That's right. So I knew rice before I came here. But like Adam said, it's a different world. There's a lot of water in both places, but other than that, climate is super different. The rice market is also very different down there. Up in California, they've done a better job continuing to grow food grade rice, get into organic production. Down here, we grow long grain rice. A lot of the rice industry down here was dependent upon the USAID market. And since that has closed, about half of the market has gone away for rice. So in 2025, the price was terrible. 24, the price was terrible. It only continues to get worse. So we are not growing any cotton other than a little bit of specialty food grade cotton this year, or rice, sorry. And most folks we know, unless they have to grow rice because of the way their farm is, they are not growing rice this year.
Yeah, we've had a lot of elevators actually close here recently that were long, decades old elevators, and that's, I'm afraid, the canary in the coal mine, something that's starting to snowball here, and it's really scary.
So, Adam, they closed instead of being consumed by a larger conglomerate?
They were part of a larger conglomerate, and they just they closed. Yes. Yeah, recently 13 terminals closed down, and that's scary. All the rice is food grade rice, but our long grain rice, we've had because of the pursuit for yield. Okay, everybody's trying to out yield this input increase problem, and the quality of our rice in Arkansas has really fallen off. And by quality, I mean milling yields. So when you harvest rough rice, you run it through the mill, and your whole kernels that's left is what you sell for food. Everything else goes for, dog food or
chicken feed,
things like that. And our quality in Arkansas has really fallen off because all of the breeding efforts have been put into maximizing yield and not quality. And it's really hurt our market. We are, Arkansas and Louisiana both are having a hard time selling rice because of the quality. And it's because of the breeding efforts that have been put solely into yield. And it's a real problem that we're going to have to unwind, or this is just going to keep getting worse.
No crawfish in your rice paddies?
Not in ours. We're just a little too far north for that, but we got a lot of friends down south that rotate crawfish. They hate to see me coming because I get in their profits when I go down there. I eat a bunch of them.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Miss Genevieve Lyons, Church Point, Louisiana, there's nobody can compete with her crawfish at Touffet. I mean, that's a trip I haven't made for far too long.
Yeah. Yeah, we sell cover crop seeds as a side business, and I try to make a point to make all the deliveries to South Louisiana myself.
I fully understand that. Okay, back to the seriousness of the issue. We're not really. I mean, we know these little tidbits of economic disasters are biting at our heels. And nobody's really grabbing a hold of it and saying, we're in trouble. And Taylor, your social media post, I thought, did such a wonderful job of just eloquently walking through in a very concise manner. We're in trouble. The food system is in jeopardy. And mostly people are just oblivious to what's actually happening.
Yeah, that's right. So I have to say, first and foremost, I did not grow up a farmer. As you mentioned, I'm a Californian, but I have worked in the food and farming space my whole career, and then met Adam and have made my way to the farm. And so, it's become clear to me in that time that family farms in rural America, the foundation of the whole food system, is totally at risk. I mean, and our system is doing nothing to protect them and stop that. So I'll give you some stats. We got some numbers from Arkansas last year. Farmers in 2024, 70% of them reported losses. They spent more than they made. 2025, 70% of farmers lost more than they made. 2026, we're projecting 90% of farmers are going to spend more than they make. That is indicative of a systematic failure, frankly. And the reason that that's happening is because agriculture corporations are charging prices that are outcompeting what we're getting in the commodity market. there's nowhere to go. You know, we were talking earlier, we'll say these things to folks and they'll say, well, you need to go make your own market. That is complicated, risky work. I mean, certainly, can we start butchering chickens and selling them off the front of our farm? Yeah. Do you know how many chickens you need to sell for $25 a piece to make a living and support this entity? You know, we grow.
Time out. Whoa. You can get $25 a piece for a chicken?
Heck yeah, we can.
Yep.
We got to take a break and get some recipes for how this works and be back with more Rural Route right after this.
There's only two people in the world who need our nitric oxide lozenge. It's the people who are sick and want to get well, and it's the people who are well and don't want to get sick. Nitric oxide is a gas that's produced in the body. It's naturally produced, and once it's produced, it's gone in less than a second. If your body can't make nitric oxide, then our products do it for you. But I take it not because I need it, because I don't want to need it. Feel great. I wake up every morning with energy. I take advantage of the discount. N101.com. That's the letter N, number one, letter O, number one.com with a coupon code of TL10.
We've all heard the phrase, that kind of thing doesn't happen in our town. But here on Midwest Murder True Crime Stories, we will shatter that false reality.
In fact, it happens more often than we know.
And sometimes the details are lost in the back pages of newspapers,
forgotten on our news channels, and eventually erased over time.
We're here to talk about murder, diving into some of the most controversial cases in Midwest history.
This show will not shy away from the morbid details of these horrific events and the often ugly truths behind them.
West River Equipment of Mandan is here to help you maintain peak productivity in your operation. As an authorized dealer for many high-quality equipment lines, we have the new and used equipment it takes to make your farming, ranching, or construction operation profitable and efficient. West River Equipment also has the parts on hand and the experienced technicians in our shop to get your equipment back in action fast. Find what you need at West River Equipment on Old Red Trail in Mandan.
We are Ladies of Another View. Join us every weekday morning at 9 o'clock a.m. as we discuss the big topics from North Dakota, the nation, and around the world.
We chat with everyone from celebrities and medical professionals to politicians, local business owners, and neighbors about the topics and stories that affect all of us.
We are unscripted and uncensored real news from real people. So join us every weekday morning for Ladies of Another View on Beth.
The Cadillac is where Sydney, Montana goes to unwind. With cold drinks, legendary steaks, and plenty of ways to play. This is where friends gather and family-friendly fun is always on tap. Bring your group here or have us cater your next event. Either way, you know everyone's getting the best food around. So feed your hunger, quench your thirst, or try your luck. The Cadillac is where it's at.
There's never been a better time to rediscover the style, reliability, and all-season, all-terrain fun of the all-new Nissan lineup at the new and improved Ryan Nissan. Whether it's the sleek and stylish Murano, the adventure-ready Pathfinder, or the reimagined, ready-for-anything 2026 Rogue, the all-new Ryan Nissan has the vehicle of your dreams at a price perfect for any budget. It's time to rediscover your passion for the road. It's time to rediscover the all-new Ryan Nissan, engineered to endure.
Welcome back, Rural Route. Trent Loos alongside Adam Chappell, Taylor Herren joining us from Cotton Plant, Arkansas. We're going to talk about $25 chickens, but Adam, at this point, every single area of either Arkansas or different parts of the country, you identify it whether it's mosquito-free or mosquito-laden. There's no place mosquito-free. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, you get in the hills, and relative to where I am, I assure you it is mosquito-free.
It could be that Northwest Arkansas just has more chickens to eat the mosquitoes. You need more chickens.
Could be. I think it's probably the hills and less stagnant water, but it's, if more chickens does it, then we're fixing to make an investment because they're terrible here.
Well, if you're selling them who's buying a $25 chicken?
People are buying chickens for $5 a pound, pasture raised chicken off our farm.
Yep.
So this is not, we are building a chicken business. We are selling D2C, direct to consumer off the farm. To your point, that has a ceiling. We're talking, we sold 500 birds that way last year. But actually our plan to scale is we're connected with a company up out of Mississippi who's got a larger scale brand and a processing facility. So they are going to be purchasing about 2,000 live birds from us every month.
Yeah.
And you raise these outside?
Mobile coops.
Mobile coops, yeah.
Yep.
Mobile coops.
Yep.
That works well. I don't have no experience with a mobile coop. I just see videos, and it looks like it makes perfect sense.
It makes sense. Everything has its challenges. It's a new system. Part of the name of the game and making this a good enterprise is efficiency. You could spend a lot of labor on this if you don't do it right compared to a barn, but it can totally work. So, and we've got, we row crop, but there are marginal areas of this farm. Back in the day, you used to farm them because you farmed every acre. But this guy has figured out, you lose money a lot of times on that. So we've pulled that land out of production, planting cover crops, a real nice chicken pasture there. And then we run our birds. They move every day in mobile coops.
So that ties directly in, obviously, to the conversation we're having and the theme of this broadcast, which is how do we create a sustainable farming operation for the next generation? That should be the theme every day.
Yep.
And we can blame government for not creating enough safety nets, but Taylor, you walked through the 70% losses until.
Sorry, Trent. One thing, it's actually not a safety net I'm advocating for. It's anti-monopoly and antitrust enforcement. So I just need to say that for the record, because that is much more my stance on those sorts of things.
Which is exactly where I was going.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
It's like you're reading my mind. No, it's because we're living it. We're living what is happening. And we have a USDA, which is not just now with the Brooke Rollins disaster. This has been taking place since Earl Butz got out of office.
Absolutely.
And Earl Butz is the one who created that go farm where you want, forget about government, which we need to get back to, but we had too many people that bastardized that system. I don't think that's one of my 7 words, Adam. Anyway, we now have these farmers with losses, and USDA says, oh, we're just going to give you a bailout. We're going to give you a bridge loan. We're going to give you there will never be a fix to the farming crisis if we continue to have dollars coming in. The challenge is what you just said, which is 100% where I'm at. The monopolies on the marketing side and the unnecessary increased cost of inputs while the outputs are at the same prices we were getting in 1970.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just recently gave a talk on this very subject. Excuse me. And the numbers out of the publicly traded companies, that's the only ones you can get. But at the, let's call it the developer level, the big boys that develop seed, chemical, fertilizer, they consistently maintain a 20% profit margin, 20% plus, 20 to 25%. And then underneath them, the retailers also maintain a 20% profit margin. So there is 40+% profit, okay, between
revenue.
No, this is profit. This is after everything's paid. 40% profit between the price they're charging us and us buying, so they're posting billions in quarterly profits, and we are out here losing money. And the safety net that you were just alluding to, all it is a money laundering scheme. They charge these astronomical prices. They know we can't afford them. And then they turn around and lobby the government for bailouts. Farmers are always second to the table in the lobbying efforts. The people that start those efforts are the big ag corporations. And so the taxpayer will pick up the tab on the overpriced products. It's got to change. It cannot stay this way.
So we could spend the entire time here talking about the problem. It would be much wiser for us to talk about the one step at a time solutions. What are they?
I think we have to really reconsider the safety net thing altogether. There's been lots of successful programs in the past. We had the set aside program, which everybody hollers, government control, it's supply management basically. So the set aside program when my dad was a young farmer. I was a little kid when this was going on, but I remember that. We would plant cover crops on 20% of the farm and leave it out. So it was out of production. Everybody did that. And things during that time were better. That was in the 90s, and, this was post-80s when everything was just trashed. That program worked. And we have to bust these companies up. We have to have competition in the market. So that has to happen. And then these constant direct payments and the crop insurance program has got to be reworked or eliminated altogether, in my opinion, because it is just abused constantly. It incentivizes farming in areas of the country that need to be cattle, because, crop insurance just gives you an out to do things that are reckless. This is all my opinion, but I think it's right.
It's fact. I'm preaching this every day. It's like I've been reading from your manual and didn't know it. Keep going, Adam.
But so we have to eliminate these things, and it's been done successfully in the world. I have a lot of farmer friends in Australia, and they were in this treadmill just like us, and they just eliminated the subsidy program, crop insurance program. They just went cold turkey. I don't know that that's the solution, because they had some really hard times in that transition. So I think we could do a better job, but I think the outcome has to be the same. I think we have to eliminate these direct payments and create competition in the markets. Those are the two solves that I see.
Adam, you're going to have a case in point in this regard, but we all knew planting season, and we come into April and everybody is thinking about this corn market's not going to work, because we're not going to get $4 a bushel. Our inputs, fertilizers over $1,000 a ton, all these things that everybody knows. So we're going to plant a different crop. We're going to diversify what we're planting. And then the spring in the Western Corn Belt was drier than normal. And at corn planting time, actual time to go plant corn, even under center pivots, guys were talking to their seed dealer, because I talked to a seed dealer who had 5 guys that did this. They were going to plant a different crop, some maybe a forage crop or something else. And the drier the spring was, they got nervous. And so they changed their seed order to corn because of what reason, Adam? You know the exact reason. You just said it.
Crop insurance.
Because they knew they were going to get crop insurance.
That's it.
Not what the market, not what the demand was, not where made the most sense to diversify your cropping, but where you're going to get a government payment.
Yep. And right now we're trying to rebuild the beef herd in this country. It would seem to me that hay production would be a far safer and more conservative use of your land. I mean, I think that there's a need for forage and things for rebuilding this cattle herd. I read about it all the time. We're not into cattle in this area right here, but I read about it constantly. Seems like that would be a safe market, but there's no crop insurance for hay production. There's,
Yeah. Well, I'm now concerned that my fellow cattlemen are getting complacent in saying that we shouldn't rebuild this herd. We're profitable now. Yeah. That is dangerous, because we've imported $6.1 billion worth of beef into the United States 2026. We're back with more, Adam. And Taylor, you've completely lost it. More Rural Route after this. We are talking precious metals.
I've been working here at Noble Gold for 6 years. The company's been around for 10 years, but this will be my 6th year here, and love what I do, educating people, helping them get some of their wealth into physical metals. We're the only company that actually will audit and photograph your metals as a courtesy of knowing that your purchase is actually there. So we call it proof of purchase. So a third-party auditor will lay it all out next to your sales receipt, and they'll sign it off saying every ounce is accounted for. We photograph that and we send it to you. But like I said, you can go there, you can touch it, you can withdraw it, you can sell it at any time.
How do we get a hold of this? You sold me.
Call, ask for me, just continue the conversation. I'm looking to educate people and help them get at least that portion that they need rolled over into actual physical metal.
Contact Noble Gold Investments today, 877-646-5347, or online at noblegoldinvestments.com/Trent Loos.
Are you dealing with arthritis, nerve and back pain, dry skin, or superficial wounds, but found no relief? Give Stewart's Natural Health a try. For over 4 decades, Stewart's Natural Health has been helping people and animals with herbal and natural oil lotions, ointments, and creams with a mission to help you relieve pain and feel your best using the power of nature. Discover the safe, drug-free solution to your pain, guaranteed or your money back. Visit stewartsnatural.health today.
Welcome to where classy meets Wild West. Buffalo Gypsy Boutique of Bismarck has clothing, decor, and gifts ranging from sophisticated boho style to fun and flashy. Our exclusive brands such as Scully, Double D Ranch, and Tanner Mark provide standout style for the whole family, right down to the little ones. We always have a great selection of Kimes denim, and we proudly offer American-made jewelry and artwork. Find Buffalo Gypsy classing up North Bismarck just off Highway 83.
This is the Cardio Smile toothpaste. You can find it at N101. It targets the oral microbiome, improves the diversity, improves nitric oxide production. So now your body is actually able to produce nitric oxide on its own. Simply by switching your fluoride, toxic, poisonous toothpaste that you may currently using to our Cardio Protective Cardio Smile toothpaste can completely transform your health, your blood flow, your circulation, and make your life a lot better.
So do you know what this Pride of the Farm energy-free water has in common with the very first livestock water patented in 1902? No electricity. Did you realize that with increasing electric costs, if it had a heating element, could require $250 a month to operate? You got 45 to 50 degree heat coming up from Earth. Why not use the Pride of the Farm free heat? You can't beat. On the web, prideofthefarm.com.
Welcome back. Raw Route. Taylor Herren joining us alongside Adam Chappell. And it dawned on me when you were speaking in the last segment, Adam, that there was a video of you that went viral. It was floating around about the current situation of the farm economy. I think USDA even latched onto it and used it.
Yeah, I think they did. They used it to tell farmers what they wanted to hear and then didn't do a dang thing about any of it. So.
Oh, no, you must be mistaken. That's got to be a different USDA that I'm talking about, the one that Brooke Rollins runs.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe I missed it, but I don't think so. I've heard multiple investigations that they're starting and yet to have seen one get anything going.
Well, to your point, and Taylor, you brought this up, we have rules about monopolies.
That's right.
And there's a FTC, Federal Trade Commission, that looks into these things. And in the last year, I mean, right now, USDA is doing an investigation into potential meat packer monopolies. I don't know if you heard that or not.
Yeah.
Well, they freaking fined 3 of them in the last 2 years, almost $100 million. So I guess the investigation should be over before it starts. John Deere just paid a $99 million fine for violating free trade agreement. The proof is there. They just don't want to enforce what they got on the books for laws.
Right.
No, they don't. And, you know, they that $100 million to those packers and whoever's getting that fine, that's just cost of doing business to them. That's, you know, they're making billions in profit. What's $100 million? Somebody has got to really drop the hammer on these folks, or it's just going to continue. And they're just not doing it. They're just giving a little pittance. Here you go, farmers. See, we're taking care of you. Well, we still got monopolies, and they're still raking us over the coals. I mean, so that what have they actually done?
You two are youngsters in agriculture, and Taylor, you can speak to this because you're the newbie, I'll just say. Everybody else your age and older, and my age, I'm 59, I'll be 60 this year, they're like, well, I don't like subsidies, but if I don't take them, my neighbor's going to take them, then I won't have a leg up. You obviously haven't done that or said that?
No. I mean, we're just trying to farm.
We're trying to survive.
We're trying to survive. And we have to work. We have to operate in this system. We are trying hard to build our own market and build our D2C thing. And that is a lot of risk. We're using the row crop farm to underwrite that, to get that business going. So You know, let me give you an example. You know, this year we said we want to get out of commodities. We're going to grow some food. We went to the Natural Foods Expo in California. There's like 50,000 people. Every CPG is there who cares about farm fresh food, right? Healthy food. We worked the floor for 3 days trying to find contracts. We also grow regenerative crops. You know, I would argue we grow premium crops. We're using very little inputs, lots of cover crops. Of our 2,500 acres, we have 300 acres of food grade crops. So there is nowhere to go. We have to grow corn, bean, wheat, or rice. That is it.
And only 100 of that came from working that floor for 3 days. I was so exhausted at the end of that. Oh, all those people around me. I'm not used to being around that many people, but we only got a 100-acre contract out of that. And, you know, supposedly that whole conference is about, you know,
restoring our food system.
But nobody wanted to talk to a farmer and do any business. So, you know, it was a joke.
Tomorrow, Trent on the Loose, I've got a guy that, Adam, you'll really appreciate. He's in Iowa, and he's huge on cover crops. I'm pro cover crop, as long as you utilize the cover crop. Planting cover crop to get a payment and then going in with glyphosate and killing it before you plant the crop is not a cover crop to me.
Absolutely not.
And without livestock, you can't have a cover crop. But what Bob's doing is he did a little research project. He planted 4 rows of corn and then 4 rows of a forage. And there was multiple forages between grasses, no red clover yet. He's going to do that. And there was some soybeans in there just for the cover crop aspect, not for harvest. And he said, this is the best for the soil and regenerative agriculture, but nobody's going to do it because they don't have the same yield. You talked about the yield, and we've just been pushing for higher and higher yields without thinking about what's the bigger picture. And Adam, that just pretty much summarizes what you've been telling us.
I know Bob well, and he is super smart. I've been following his research for years, and his 4 rows corn, 4 rows forage thing is really interesting to me. Here's the reason that won't catch on, because our insurance won't cover that. So farmers aren't going to do it. And it all comes back to these subsidies. Crop insurance will not cover that system. Here's a prime example of how crop insurance hinders farmer innovation. Cotton, for example, in an arid climate like Texas. I've got buddies out there that have foregone crop insurance because this method of cotton in that arid climate, they yield every year when their neighbors fail. They grow wide row cotton, ultra wide row, like 80-inch. So it's basically a 1 in, 1 out skip row. And crop insurance won't cover that. And if they do, it's at like a 50% margin. So they're discouraged from doing it. But the fact is that cotton, because it's able to put down bigger roots, you know, and utilize more of the land space, actually yields better than the solid stand cotton that the insurance does cover. So it's a lower risk way to farm cotton in an arid climate. So why wouldn't insurance be like, this is good. We want to incentivize this practice over this solid stand crap that we've been doing and having to make payments on every single year. So the subsidy system, I can't agree with you anymore. It does more harm than good, as well intentioned as it may be.
With your mentality, Adam, how come you don't have a ruminant? A ruminant's vital for soil health and the future of all things, and you don't have sheep or cattle.
We're working on that. Sheep is coming. Sheep's coming. You know, down here in the South where we are. Are
we going back to mosquitoes again?
No. Fences got tore out when Earl Butts was around. Fence row to fence row farming, and he wanted everybody to specialize either in row crop or cattle. You can't mix. You know, I remember when I was a little kid, my papa and dad had cows and row crops. And that just went away. It went away because everybody, bankers included, they didn't want to finance. Like our bankers in this area, they finance row crops. They don't do cattle loans. So, you know, you gotta, it's become so segmented and specialized that's why ruminants aren't here. So for us to get back into ruminants, we're having to build fence. We're having to do, now these collars are interesting. I don't know if you I'm sure you've heard of the radio collar things.
Yeah, I'm not a fan just because of the frequency. We've got too many frequencies around ourselves and our livestock. But I understand where you're going.
Yeah, but anyway, so infrastructure for us, building fence and things, is our limiting factor, and that's why we're so slow getting into ruminants. But we are getting back into ruminants, and it is going to be sheep. Cattle right now for us, we've done cattle in the past on a small scale. We've done some custom grazing on cover crops for people, and for ourselves, we've bought cattle and done that. Right now, it's just cost prohibitive because of the value of cattle.
Well, you got to feed stuffs that I wish you lived a little closer to Nebraska, because I could use some of your cottonseed hulls.
Oh yeah, the cattle guys clean us out on cottonseed hulls all the time.
Man, I just wish I had a closer supply of that.
Yeah. That used to be a really good source of compost for us, and the cattle guys figured out how good that stuff was around here, and they keep the gins cleaned out. Of course, the gins love it, and it's great for them. So,
what county are you in?
We sit right on the line of Woodruff and Monroe County.
And do you have many people in those two counties, or in your area, or in Arkansas? Because obviously, Adam, you get out and about, that are your age and excited about seeking solutions for agriculture in the future?
Everybody is excited about seeking solutions, but there's not a lot of people our age. And I mean, that's understandable. If you look at the environment we're in, I mean, if you were mid-20s, late 20s, and you were looking to start a short enough career, would you jump into the environment we're in? I mean, I can't hardly blame them. Of all the neighbors I got, probably I've got 3 that are younger than me. Everybody else older than me. Yeah, I'm 47.
Taylor, I could have guessed this is going to sound braggadocious, and I can't. I was speaking at the Minnesota Farm Bureau meeting 20 years ago. It was in a president's leadership meeting, so it was only like 20 people in the room, and there were 2 women that were just very eloquent and were just passionate about the future of farming and what we got to do. And I looked at both of them and I said, "You neither one grew up in farming, did you?" They're like, No, how'd you know that? I find that you are the perfect demographic, Taylor, to be passionate and tell the story of agriculture, because, my family's been taking care of the land since 1839. So we're entrenched in it. You did not grow up on a farm. You had farm experiences, but you didn't grow up on a farm. And then now you're just full on into what is going on, and you want the whole world to know what's going on, because this is so new to you, even though it's just in your lifetime. You are the perfect advocate to go forward and get this story told. See, this is Adam and I giving you the responsibility to fix it.
Well, I take it seriously, and I said this in my post, and it ruffled some feathers, but that you cannot replicate someone like you and Adam. You cannot replicate somebody who has lifetimes of experience and learned knowledge. And I feel super humbled, and I feel at times, like, am I really the person to be sharing this? But I'm here, and I've had the vision for this life in my mind's eye my whole life. I knew I was going to live on land. I knew I was going to have animals. I knew I was going to be a business owner. I did not know I was going to be in cotton plant, and I did not know I was going to be into row crop farming and into this really precarious economic space. But, I look at Adam's family, and like, we cannot lose this. I'm going to say one more thing. We had a neighbor last year who, his family's farmed here as long as Adam's. His dad farmed with Adam's dad, grandpa, and he closed up shop last year. And that's happening. We cannot regain that. We cannot bring that back. And so it just feels like I'm in this moment in time, and it's important to talk about these things. And maybe the one skill I do have is that I'm a good parakeet, and I can regurgitate the message and speak in the world. People live in the media world. That is the space that they're receiving their information. And so...
And we got a space we have to fill too, Taylor. We'll pick it up when we get back with the last segment. Roll right after this.
Yeah.
Tracer minerals is what we're going to talk about. Now we're going to talk about basic mineral balance.
We were talking about zinc and fertility, and I reminded you that it's not just about zinc. It's about a balance of everything. Magnesium plays a huge role in fertility and immunity, and so does copper and manganese and potassium especially. So it's about a balance, and we got to not get hung up on one specific issue. We need to make sure we look at the whole picture.
So you have questions on how to get certified Piedmontese delivered right to your front door? Two options available for you here. And we've got Piedmontese.com, which serves as your one-stop shop for all things Piedmontese beef related. $30 shipping nationwide. If you'd like to get mixes of proteins, we've got GoodLifeProteins.com here that has a wider variety, the same variety of Piedmontese cuts, in addition to including chicken, pork, bison, seafood, lamb, and lobster.
We've been coming to the National Western probably for the last 10 years. We come to learn, to spectate. We go to the rodeos. We've hosted clients and family members here. I just feel like it's an important part of Denver, Denver's history, the West. The Western values are important. It's central to American history and who we are as people, and there's a pressure to see that, squeezed out, and I feel like the National Western really holds on to that and brings it to life.
Find relief for what ails you at Steep Me Tea Apothecary. Teas, supplements, tinctures, and more. Formulated to fight whatever has you down. We're Bismarck Mandan's favorite place to find delicious, natural, and easy ways to alleviate symptoms brought on by anything from colds to cancer. Brew a better you at Steep Me Tea Apothecary. Steep Me products may cause side effects, including but not limited to improved mood, deeper sleep, enhanced hydration, renewed sense of smell, increased energy levels, superior balance, boosted immunity, proper digestion, restored sense of calm, and a delightful smelling home.
Come on in and experience small-town hospitality and the personalized care that makes car buying a pleasure.
We know that every journey starts with the right car. Whether it's school drop-off, weekend road trips, or your daily commute, we have the right vehicle for you and your family.
With trusted brands, affordable prices, and the team that treats you like family, finding your next car has never been so easy.
We pride ourselves on personal attention and quality service. Beset Motors, where our customers send their friends.
You know the rule. No phones at the dinner table.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just Noble Gold Investments. I bought some gold for the kids. Finally. Well, the gold you bought me gives me so much security in this economic disaster we're having. I want that for them too.
Well, I've been investing with Noble Gold Investments for years, and I'm pretty sure they can wait until after lunch.
Invest in something you can hold. Invest in Noble Gold. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com to learn more.
Welcome back. Roll Route, Trent Loos. We are talking cotton talk today. Cotton Plant, Arkansas. Don't know that I've been there. Strangely enough, we found a town I don't think I've been in, although I've driven past on the interstate. Adam Chappell, Taylor Herren. Taylor, did we get, I want to make sure I didn't cut you off. The other thing I'll add that you were talking about, right now we see a lot of estate auctions, retirement auctions. Those are farmers that are being told by the bank they have to sell out instead of filing bankruptcy. That plays into what you were saying.
That's exactly right. I think the last thing I want to say, a lot of this has been not negative, but maybe stark. And at times our message is that way because what's going on is so serious. But, what this is about is a really beautiful part of American history, a super important part of our culture and identity. And that's the stuff that matters to me. It's when I think about this place, what it used to be. There are so many people who live here and love it and know that history, and we have to try to maintain it. We have to keep our family farms on the land. Things are messed up right now. The food system disincentivizes growing real healthy food. But if we lose family farms and we have institutional investors that come into this land, you think they're going to care and try to change our food system? So to me, it's a very human thing. And Cotton Plant is a tiny place, but it's just like so many places across this country. This exact thing is happening.
Yep. Well, there's this push with big money around the world to move away from the land being involved in food production. That's at the end of the day what we're fighting.
Totally.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Now we're fighting solar farms, AI centers. You know.
Okay, but it's the first time I'm going to correct you since we started conversations, Adam.
All right.
A solar development center is not a farm. It doesn't grow things. It
That's
just
right.
kills things.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I can't disagree with that. So I'll use a different term for that. Yeah. Solar installation. How about
There you
that?
go.
All
I'm
right.
good with that. Some Chinese product going up in a field is not part of a farm. Just saying.
No.
Leaking chemicals. Go ahead.
And the solar installations that are going up, a lot of them on the farm ground around here is out of desperation. There's farmers that are losing their rear end, and that solar installation is it's a life raft somebody's throwing them. Money to get out from under the debt, and it's low risk money. So it's a double-edged sword. They're taking advantage of a system that they're taking advantage of desperation to put those things out there, and it's not right. It's not right.
So let's come back to your chickens and marketing. Your chickens are bringing $25, $5 a pound because they're just outstanding. The more consolidation Tyson does, the better your option of getting a premium for a high quality product. I haven't had your chicken, but I know what your chicken tastes like, and we need to do that more. Isn't part of the answer that we just ignore what the monopoly is doing and find a way to direct market everything that we produce?
For now, I think. For now. The challenge with us, even with that D2C, is I think you can only reach a certain consumer. We were at Walmart last week walking down the aisle and the ramen noodles were cleared out. And that's going on because people have so little money to spend on food. So certainly for us, the short term, the thing that is within our control is to build our own market, is to find those consumers that can pay $25 a chicken. But there's still a huge swath of America that I don't think is going to be able to afford that, which is where some of this food systems change work needs to continue to happen, and why we don't. We have this conversation. Should we have not come on your show today, and should we let go of all this external work, and should we just farm every day and live our life and sell chicken locally and be done with it? But we don't feel like that's in our best interest long term, and we also just feel an obligation to other farmers in this place and kind of what farming is.
Yep.
And just to be clear, you were in Walmart just to see what the store shelves look like.
We are
don't
not
go
purists.
there on a regular basis.
Listen, we are not purists. And I think that's not to say that we don't think that Walmart represents all the things that are wrong in our system, but we live in this world. And so, whether it's like in our shopping habits or the way that we farm, we talk to a lot of folks that think the way to farm is no chemicals and no tillage, and that all sounds good and well, but it's not really the way the world works. So it's hard to hold that balance, to not greenwash and to hold a North Star, but also to meet people where they're at and kind of live in the gray. So that's a long answer to your Walmart question, but do I shop local? Yes. Do we grow our own food? Yes. Do I pick up some Tide from Walmart at times? Also, yes.
I haven't been in a Walmart since 2010. And I assure you, Sam Walton is flipping over in his grave by the minute with what's happened to the company he started in his garage.
That's right.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you turn billions in profits and a lot of your employees qualify for food benefits, that's an issue. That should be a criminal issue. But
so the answer really comes back to, as much as anything, Walmart's a great place to start this discussion because it's the consumer's habits and doing what is convenient and cheap that has driven all this consolidation. And that's why I stay out of Walmart's, is because I recognize that this was going to just spiral out of control. I want to know, Taylor, how we get the attention of the people that are driven by they don't have a choice because they have less disposable income to spend on food, so they're going to do what's convenient and what's cheap. How do we get the message to them to buy local or buy from somebody they know?
That's why you found me on social media. I mean, that's why I'm spending time every day figuring out how to get our message out in the world that people live in, truly, and to make things cute and appealing and viral. I mean, that's it, you know? And so I think that's part of it. And I think even this is going to sound silly, but not everybody maybe can vote with their dollar in this moment. So even to help us spread this message, to even kind of share this stuff, and we don't need to get into politics, but people need to be more aware of that's also why we talk about some of these systemic issues.
Adam, you want to answer the same question?
Yeah, I mean, for us to increase our market share of these chickens, and we're not making a giant profit on these chickens. That's what it costs us to make them.
I'm aware.
Small margin, yeah. So we have to address the systemic issue of lack of wage growth and these corporations that have consolidated to the point where they can turn in billions and billions of profits and not have any responsibility to their consumer and the people that they buy their products from. And, you know, I think you got to get money out of politics. I really do. I think term limits and money out of politics has got to happen, because right now, my voice, even though I'm one person, should have one vote, one everything, it doesn't mean crap compared to Walmart's voice, because Walmart can pony up millions of dollars in campaign contributions, et cetera, et cetera. We see that in the ag system all the time. Do you think this recent farm bill was written by farmers, or do you think it was written by ag corporations? Because I can tell you who it benefits, and it ain't us. So,
well, I'm not sure people understand this is taking place either, but it's now becoming a common thing. And I caught one of the Nebraska state senators this past year. It wasn't mine, but it was a neighboring senator who I've known for quite some time that wrote a bill that was eliminating local control totally for AI data centers. And I called him and Stan, I said, what are you doing here? Have you seen Section 4? He hadn't even looked at the bill he authored. The lobbyist for the corporation wrote the bill, and he had not even read it.
Yep.
Once he read it, he withdrew.
Yeah.
That's the problem, and you just went right to the core. One other thing I want to get to, we have 2 minutes. We haven't talked about another situation which I believe is geared towards eliminating land ownership, period, is property tax problems. How bad is it in Arkansas?
Well, it's not as bad in Arkansas as it is in a state like Nebraska. I've got buddies up there, and they tell me all the time how rough y'all's property taxes are. But we don't own any land. We are tenant farmers. We rent. And so I don't deal with that issue directly. But I do know Arkansas's property taxes are a little lower than other places. They're still too high, you know, but, you know.
So the sheep are coming.
Yep.
I wonder when the Jersey cow is going to be there and when you want me to deliver a group of bred gilts.
Well, as soon as we get some fence built. Yeah.
Just a little hot wire will take care of it, Adam.
We're working on it. We actually have had a little bobcat with one of those big time shredders on the front.
Yeah.
Clearing saplings and clearing pathways for fence. So it's happening. It's happening. So we'll be ready soon.
Taylor, I'm going to let you wrap us up today because of something you said. And I know I'm criticized for always being critical. We have to identify what's really going on, not live in a fairy tale to fix the problem. What's the positive way to close this show to say, yes, this is worth fighting for?
Farmers are the toughest people I know. That's the thing that has drawn me into it. And I watch Adam and his brother outside working. You know, I watched them the other day mess up a piece of equipment that probably could have put us out for the whole season. And in about 4 hours with just some grit and some welding and some duct tape, these guys were up and back rolling. You know, when I look at them, I see their dad and their grandpa, and that's the stuff we're fighting for. And the thing is I share this message, people know farmers in their life and they see that and connect to that too. and places like this. So I hope that that's what people can connect to and see that's what this is actually about. It's people and families and the communities that have really built this country.
That's what you and I have in common, Taylor. I sit here and watch my wife out there working just like Adam is and try to convey the story. We've successfully journeyed down the path, connecting food producers to food consumers. For Adam Taylor, I'm Trent. All three of us reminding you that all roads do lead to a rural route in Cotton Plant, Arkansas.
We've been coming to the National Western probably for the last 10 years. We come to learn, to spectate. We go to the rodeos. We've hosted clients and family members here. I just feel like it's an important part of Denver's history, the West. The Western values are important. It's central to American history and who we are as people, and there's a pressure to see that, squeezed out, and I feel like the National Western really holds on to that and brings it to life.